Hey guys, what's up? I'm just messing around, man. You know, I can do whatever I want. This is my studio. But in my studio, I have a guest. It's Jimmy from Lots of Games. Jimmy, what's up? Talk to the people. Let them know how you're doing.
Okay, we're doing I'm very excited about this episode today. Today we're going over 5 games that we're nostalgia about. 5 games that really mean a lot to us personally. And this is going to be a really fun episode.
Yeah, because I actually got tagged from another YouTuber, the Video Game Hunters, and they wanted to know what are the 5 games that make you most nostalgic. So I thought, you know what, I'll do mine, and I'll tag Jimmy, and he can just do it right now, you know? So, but I'm going to let Jimmy go first because he's the guest in my home. I'm not going to be rude. I'm going to pass the mic to him because there's no one in the studio today, and we've hijacked it, and we only could find one mic, so that's how we're going to roll. So, dude, what are your 5 most, like, the ones that bring nostalgia to you, man?
All right. In at number 5 is Pitfall 2 for the Atari 2600. This might seem an odd one to some of you guys out there, but it was very different than the first Pitfall game, whereas it was almost kind of like the areas were a lot more open and had different levels. Like there's levels where you'd get to like a ledge, you couldn't go anywhere. Then there'd be like these balloons you'd have to hop on and climb up. And that's something that I got to play right before Super Mario Brothers. And I don't know, I just have really fond memories playing Pitfall 2, and I just really enjoyed it. And at number 4 is Secret of Mana for the Super Nintendo. This is an interesting one because if you're a fan of, like, say for instance, the Zelda games, looking for a game with adventure, Secret of Mana was developed by Square, and actually it was interesting because not only were like going around adventure, fighting different enemies, but also you could play this game with 2 other players. This was so imagine almost like the adventure elements of Zelda, being able to do it with 3 players. Very fun, very colorful, and a great soundtrack. In at number 3 is a game on the NES, and that's Zelda 2 Link's Adventure. And you know, it's of course very different than the first Zelda game on the NES, but it's still one that I really recommend. Lots of awesome areas, and you know, you enter these towns, you get these new abilities. Some of these areas and castles that you're going to go into are very challenging, but it's something that I loved doing growing up. In at number 2, another NES game, Super Mario Brothers 3. That was probably my most favorite game on the NES. It took things to a whole new level. Crazy, insane levels that had so much variety. And if I could sum up Super Mario Brothers 3 in one word, it would be fun. So definitely check that one out. So my number 1 pick, though, for games that I'm nostalgia about is Ys Book 1 and 2. Now, the Ys series, this was a game that was on the TurboGrafx 16 CD player. And the reason why I have such fond memories for this one is because I worked an entire summer to earn so I could buy a summer job, an entire summer, so I could get the TurboGrafx 16 CD attachment. So basically, I wanted to get it just for Ys. It's an incredible role-playing game with a beautiful soundtrack. And so there's my top 5 picks. Joel, what are your top 5 games?
This was tough, man. This was tough because I went back to Atari. I was thinking about Spider-Man, Return of the Jedi, The Empire Strikes Back, some of those games. But the ones that I play today that bring me right back, coming in at number 5, has to be Altered Beast. Like, when I think of Sega Genesis, when I think of the cover of the box art, you had that picture, you know, of him transforming into the wolf. And man, I remember when seeing those graphics for the first time, I was like, I have to have this machine. No matter what I do, I have to have this machine. And so that's one that comes back to me. Another one, and it's funny, it's Ys Book 1 and 2. And it's funny because Ys is kind of what brought us together, because I seen the Ys video that you had done, and I was like, this guy likes Ys. I've been watching his show. I've been watching your show. We contact each other, and we've been friends for a while now because of that. But Ys, man, when I play it, any Ys game almost, it brings me right back to my childhood. And number 3 is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Without a doubt, we were playing it just last night at my house, having a good time. Everyone trying to beat Mike, Iron Mike. It's always a challenge every year for my birthday party. It's tough. Some years we win. Some years Mike's wins because it's tough, right? Yeah. It's a really hard game, but it brings me right back. Coming in at number 2 is Contra, man. Oh gosh, the music, the graphics, the gameplay. I don't know how many times. It's so funny that it's such a short game, Jimmy, and I played it a trillion times. A trillion times. I love that game. I love it so much. It's a good 2-player game until you get to that one waterfall level and you're just like killing each other because you're who's jumping the fastest. But it is such a great time. And number one, if you watch this channel, I don't think is any surprise to anyone. In fact, when I was making my list, Jimmy guessed what my number one is, and that is The Revenge of Shinobi. Man, I love this game. I did a whole tribute episode to it. Here's a link to that. You can watch that. Revenge of Shinobi is a very amazing game. Now, a lot of people don't know this story, and I'll tell it really quick. I'm actually got a lifetime ban from Target stores because when I was a kid, I was a bad kid, and we used to steal some video games, and I stole a bunch, and we got caught, and they took all the games away. And we used to take them out in the dumpster, hide them there, and go back for more. And they cleaned out the dumpster. They took them all back. One made it out. It was under the dumpster hiding. Jimmy says it's because it was Revenge of Shinobi and he's a ninja and he was hiding under there. And that's the only one I took home. Now that's a bad, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to promote stealing. I apologize for that. I would never do that today. It's just that and then I took that game home. It's the only game I had. It was brutally hard. But it's the only game I could play, and I played it every single day, and I love that game. I've rebought it. For my birthday last year, a good friend of mine, Dustin, bought the original one that I had gotten with Godzilla. There's several versions. Like, watch my video, and it talks all about it. And man, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys. All the support you give us, I do not take this for granted. I never thought we would have this many subscribers, this many people watching. Let us know, what are those 5 games that you're nostalgic for? I would tag someone, but we got to cut to commercial and I got to go. I love you guys. See you. Goodbye.